Hello. Um, I'm currently talking about something that I really enjoy, and I know a lot of people also enjoy, but for some reason the community around is very divided. Video games. Everyone loves video games. You love them, you hate them, whatever. I'll be using Pokemon as example. I remember when Pokemon Sword and Shield first came out, people were really angry about it. People hated it. You despise them. And the thing about it is, if you hated it so much, then why'd you buy it? I remember it came out when I was a senior in high school, if I remember. I remember some kids used to say, "Oh, the Pokemon game is garbage. The animation suck, or maybe the storytelling suck, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, did you buy it?" I go, "Well, of course I bought it. If you saw the trailers, you saw the gameplay, and you didn't like it, then why'd you buy it?" It doesn't if you knew you were gonna be unhappy with it, you knew you were just gonna complain about it, then why'd you buy it? So for a long time, I protested too. I didn't buy the new Pokemon games. I stuck in my old Pokemon games and I stuck with it. And the weird thing was, the more people I said bought it, the more they complain. Like, you play to be upset? You play to be angry? I play to have fun. I play video games to take me out of reality. But I didn't understand. Then eventually, what happened was I thought more people would protest on to send the Pokemon Company a message, like, oh, we don't like your game, fix it, so we won't buy it. Pokemon games, Pokemon Sword and Shield are like the top 10 top selling Pokemon games of all time. Top 10 not selling Pokemon games, top 10 Switch games, the Switch console. And I'm like, I just like, you mean to tell me all these people? There's like hundreds of thousands, like millions of people complain about it online. And why didn't it affect anything? Or maybe just people didn't care about it anyway, just be upset. So I didn't buy it. But eventually I said, it doesn't matter anymore. I'll give my own opinion. And I bought it. And I bought it with the DLC. And you know what? I enjoyed it. Surprisingly, I enjoyed it. I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew what happened to the game. I knew it was shorter, less content. You had to pay money for extra content that should have been free from the get go. But surprisingly, I enjoyed the game. I enjoy shiny hunting. I enjoy collecting Pokemon, filling up the Pokedex. I enjoy being the storyline, doing little challenge modes. I even built something fell. I even built a competitive team. I stopped being a competitive Pokemon. I never used them because I was so shy about going to competitive Pokemon. But I built a team. I changed the stat. I gave them good attacks. I don't know, it's something about that's fun. Building your team first, finding the shiny Pokemon, then building it from there, and slowly but surely building up a team of just absolute powerhouses. In case for those who don't know, a shiny Pokemon is like a 1 in 4,000 chance of finding it. It's like a mutant Pokemon of a different color. Like imagine Charizard, but instead of orange, he's black. Or Mewtwo, instead he's purple, he's got green. Stuff like that. And I noticed, and again, continuing with the topic, I noticed like a lot of people they disliked a lot of modern Pokemon games, and like if you disliked it so much, and why they keep selling, you should not buy them anymore. What we're trying to do is when you're playing other games, playing other games to enjoy. And some people said they play Pokemon, but they don't enjoy it anymore. I'm like, I played Pokemon my whole life, and I never stopped enjoying it. I played every single game. For me, my personal favorite were the GameCube games, Pokemon XD, Gale Darkness, and Pokemon Colosseum. Those were my personal favorites. Mostly just nostalgia talking, I know. But that's where I had the most memories with it. I know it's nostalgia. I know the graphics are so bad and it lags. I know the storytelling is not good, but that was my personal favorite. But like I don't understand how people just stop having fun. That didn't happen to me. I don't understand why. But maybe because he played. I never got tired of it. And everything, people say, "Oh, the formula needs to change." Like the thing is, people want things to change, but not change too much. They want some new things, but still keep the original. So, like, how do you do that? You can't change everything without changing nothing. It's really confusing. The thing about the Pokemon community is I never noticed how just bizarre they were until a couple years ago. I never realized, oh, all people I knew from the Pokemon community were my friends from high school. I didn't interact with anyone on the internet, and still to this day, I don't have any social media. I refuse to get it. I'm more of an observer of chaos. I observe the chaos unfolds. And I notice this thing of hating something, yet still buying it and supporting it. I notice that's like for a lot of games, a lot of things, a lot of industry, even card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or like Sonic. And I came to this conclusion that maybe people play games or people like to be miserable. People like to complain. People like to be upset over things that don't matter. And I don't know why. I do know why. Because when you're miserable, when you're upset, it doesn't require you to change anything about yourself. You can stay the exact same way as you were before, and you can still be miserable. You didn't have to grow as a person, you didn't have to learn, you didn't have to change your attitude to change anything about yourself. Being miserable only just makes you just doing nothing and being miserable. I know Pokemon, a lot of game companies are cutting down content, like, and yeah, it's bad. But people say, "Oh, why Pokemon Sword and Shield didn't act like the other Switch games, like Mario Odyssey, or Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, or Kirby?" I personally think they don't have enough time to develop the game. Like Mario Odyssey is one of the only Mario platformer games on Switch, and Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild just got their game after nearly 8 years. It was the first to come out on the Wii U. It didn't. Came on the Switch, and the Wii U died. So it took like a whole game life, console life, just for it to come out. Pokemon has to develop a game every year, which is unfortunate because they put themselves in that position. And now the developers have to make the Pokemon, so the cards can make the Pokemon, the TCG, trading card game. Then plushies, they have to make it before. Everything they make has to be made months, not years beforehand. So the Pokemon game you get today was developed like 4 years ago. And it's sad because the workers, everyone, is so overworked. And because the boss, they the creator put themselves on this schedule they have to keep, and it's real sad. Now they're constantly churning out like half baked games, and they can't delay it because it would completely destroy the cycle, destroy the merchandise, destroy the shirts, the stores, tournaments, everything, and it's real sad. But uh, I think you have to know what you're getting yourself into before you buy a game. Like, well, before you buy any merchandise and any media. Like some movies, you know it's gonna be a bad movie, but once you know that, you can enjoy it. Hey, it was bad, but I had fun with it. Playing Pokemon is like watching a Saturday morning cartoon, like from like CW4 Kids, if you remember that. They're not meant to have like some sort of crazy development or some crazy dialogue or something like not was too deep with enough depth. It's just meant to get your attention to buy products. It's just meant to just goofy fun. Pokemon's a Saturday morning cartoon. You're playing that. You're playing a Saturday morning cartoon like Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon. Could it be complex a storyline? Could it have detail? Probably, but you don't go to a steak restaurant ordering seafood. You could, but it won't be very good. But you have to. When I got my mentality like that, I accepted it, and I've been enjoying Pokemon games ever since. I enjoyed the old games, the new games, the 3DS games, the Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was a lot of fun. It actually helped me get out of the house and walk. But I think once you know what you're spending your money on, you know after a while playing the same thing over and over again. You know, you're not gonna get like a God of War storyline. Okay, you're not gonna get Red Dead Redemption 2. You're getting a Saturday morning cartoon. I don't know. I'm sure I'll talk about more things later, but for now, this is what I have to say. Anyways, sign off. Thanks for listening to me ramble to my mega cringe thing. Bye.